Have you ever felt like life is quietly shifting beneath your feet, even if you can't yet see it, like the universe is aligning in ways you don't fully understand, preparing something for you that feels just out of reach? Carl Jung taught us that the moments we often dismiss as coincidence are anything but they are signs, whispers from the depths of our own unconscious, guiding us toward growth, transformation, and our true potential. Today, I want you to listen closely, because if you're seeing this, it's no accident. And the very shifts you have been waiting for are already in motion. But to step into them, you must open your eyes, open your heart, and understand the subtle ways life communicates with those who are ready. You must understand this. The life you are living right now, the circumstances you find yourself in, are not fixed. They feel immovable because you've been staring at them for too long, because the human mind has a tendency to anchor itself to the familiar, even when the familiar is painful, even when it is stifling. But change, real change, is rarely loud. It does not announce itself with fanfare. It does not knock at your door in blazing clarity. Instead, it moves quietly, subtly, almost imperceptibly, like the tide coming in at night, slowly erasing the footprints you left on the sand. And if you are paying attention, if you have the patience to notice, you will see that it has already begun. Look around you. Notice the minor shifts, the coincidences, the little doors that are beginning to open. Perhaps a conversation happened today that would have been impossible yesterday. Perhaps someone reached out, seemingly out of nowhere, with words that carried weight you did not expect. Perhaps an opportunity appeared that your mind initially dismissed because it did not match your plan. These are signals, markers, breadcrumbs along a path that is already forming beneath your feet. The universe does not move without reason, and you are part of a larger pattern, one you may not yet fully comprehend, but it is there, quietly aligning itself, setting the stage for what is about to unfold. You must also recognize that this shift does not require perfection. Often, we wait for the right moment, for the stars to align, for our lives to be orderly and ready. But the truth is, the shift comes while you are still messy, while you are still unsure, while your doubts are still present. It comes to those who are willing to keep moving forward, even when the ground feels unstable beneath their feet. It comes to those who are aware enough to recognize that small, consistent steps matter more than grand gestures delayed by fear. Change does not wait for readiness. It meets you where you are. And here is another truth you must grasp. Patience does not mean inactivity. Waiting for change to happen is not the same as surrendering to it. You are called to prepare, to observe, to engage with your world attentively. The shift is already in motion, but your awareness of it is what allows you to navigate it successfully. If you ignore the signs, if you dismiss the subtle openings, you will arrive at transformation only partially, slowly, perhaps with struggle where there could have been ease. But if you watch closely, if you allow yourself to be present, then even the smallest shifts can become monumental. Think of the seed buried in the earth. It does not demand to see the sunlight before it begins its work. It grows quietly, imperceptibly, building its roots deep, preparing for the day when it will break the surface. You, too, are in this phase, whether you realize it or not. The foundations for your next chapter, the roots of your transformation, are being laid now. And if you can resist the urge to rush, to demand immediate change, you will find that when the moment comes, you are not only ready, but you are strong, resilient, and capable of stepping into the new with clarity and purpose. Do not underestimate the power of small, almost invisible actions. A word spoken with honesty, a decision made with courage, however minor it may seem, a moment of self-reflection, a refusal to engage in patterns that no longer serve you. These are the sparks, the subtle catalysts that signal the larger movement. Change rarely arrives fully formed. It is a mosaic of small shifts, quietly accumulating until the tipping point is reached. And when that point comes, when the world seems to open for you all at once, it will not feel sudden, for you have been prepared for it in ways you cannot yet see. This is why you must cultivate attentiveness. The shift is already underway, but it will not announce itself with drumbeats. You must look for the patterns, recognize the synchronicities, and trust that each seemingly insignificant event is part of a greater design. Your life is like a tapestry being woven behind the scenes. Threads that seem unrelated, that seem random or trivial, are in fact forming the pattern that will soon reveal itself. And when it does, you will see that what felt like waiting, like struggle, like stagnation, was in truth the preparation for the transformation that is now inevitable. So do not despair over where you are. Do not believe that you are stuck. The moment is coming when what was once distant and intangible will become tangible and real. You may not see it yet. You may not feel it yet. But the quiet work has begun. The alignment has already started. And soon, the currents you are in will carry you to a new place, a place that has been waiting for you all along. Trust the process. Pay attention to the subtle signs and allow yourself to be ready, because the change that is approaching is not a question of if, it is only a matter of when. And when it comes, you will know that every small choice, every quiet observation, every moment of courage has led you to this point. The shift is here, already in motion, and it is carrying you to the life that has been waiting for you to claim. You cannot invite new beginnings into your life while holding on to what no longer serves you. This is a truth that is often overlooked. Because the mind fears emptiness, we cling to people, to habits, to thoughts, to fears, because letting go feels like stepping into the unknown. But the very act of holding on to the old, the resentment, the regret, the comfort of familiarity, creates a barrier that prevents transformation. Change requires space, and space can only exist when you release. Consider this. Every experience you have carried with you, every disappointment, every perceived failure, is not a chain to keep you bound, but a lesson meant to guide you. Yet, too often, we mistake these lessons for burdens and carry them forward unnecessarily. You must ask yourself what you are holding on to that is no longer yours to bear. Is it a habit that keeps you stuck in the same patterns over and over again? Whatever it is, recognize that releasing it does not diminish you. It frees you to receive the next chapter. It is not easy to let go. The mind will resist because it has grown comfortable with the known. Fear will whisper that if you release this thing, you will lose yourself, or lose control, or fail. But here is the paradox. It is in releasing that you find yourself. It is in surrendering the false security of what no longer serves you that you open yourself to the true potential that awaits. Imagine carrying a heavy bag on a long journey. You may convince yourself that the bag contains essentials, but with every step, it slows you, it drags you down, and it obscures the path ahead. To move forward, you must set it down. The journey is lighter, freer, and the horizon suddenly becomes visible. Releasing does not mean forgetting or pretending the past did not happen. It means acknowledging its place in your life, learning what it had to teach you, and then making a conscious decision to no longer let it define you. It is a choice to step into the present fully, without the weight of what has already passed. And as you do, you will notice that opportunities begin to appear in ways you could not have imagined. Doors that were once closed seem to open with ease, not because the world changed, but because you changed. You have made space for the new to enter. People often resist change because they are attached to identity. They believe, "I am who I have always been." And in that belief, they trap themselves. But identity is not static. It is a living, breathing construct that grows with every choice, with every action, with every willingness to release what no longer fits. Letting go is an act of courage because it means saying, "I am willing to become more than I have been." And when you take that step, when you finally unclench your hands and let go of the weight you have been carrying, you discover a freedom so profound that the world itself seems to shift around you. You must also recognize that releasing is not only about the past, it is about the present. Every moment you cling to anxiety, resentment, or fear, you are effectively blocking the flow of life that seeks to bring you forward. Change cannot arrive where there is resistance. Transformation cannot enter the mind that is closed, the heart that is unwilling. You are asked to let go not because you are flawed, but because the universe has something greater for you, something that your attachment to the old will only obscure. Notice how this works in your relationships. Holding on to people who drain your energy, who limit your growth, who do not support the life you are moving toward. This is one of the most subtle, yet profound, barriers to transformation. It may be uncomfortable to step away, to create distance, to redefine boundaries, but it is essential. The energy you allow around you determines the trajectory of your life, and when you release relationships, habits, and thought patterns that no longer serve you, you are not abandoning anyone or anything. You are making room for the life that is ready to come to you. Similarly, letting go of fear is essential. Fear is the greatest obstacle to change because it convinces you to stay small, to stay stagnant, to settle for less than what is possible. But fear is an illusion, a shadow of what could be, holding you in a state of hesitation. When you confront it, when you consciously release it, you allow your courage, your clarity, your creativity to emerge. And it is this release that creates the conditions for change to flow into your life naturally. Letting go also requires patience. The process is not instantaneous, and there may be moments when the old pulls at you, when the mind questions the wisdom of release. This is normal. Growth is never linear. The key is persistence, awareness, and trust. Trust that by letting go, you are not losing your life. You are preparing it for expansion, for abundance, for a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you could have imagined. So, in this moment, consider what you are holding on to that is preventing your life from shifting. Be honest with yourself. Be courageous. Release it. Make space. Allow the currents of change, which have already begun, to enter fully. The moment you do, you will feel the first stirrings of transformation. It will be subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a breeze moving through the trees, but it will grow. And before long, you will look back and realize that everything that once weighed you down has been replaced by freedom, opportunity, and a life that has been waiting for you all along. And once you release, you will finally see that what was holding you back was never outside of you. It was the attachment itself. And now, without it, you are unstoppable. Your mindset is not just a part of your life, it is the foundation of it. Every shift, every opportunity, every breakthrough you hope to see in the world around you begins here, in the way you perceive yourself and the possibilities that exist before you. The reality you experience is, in essence, a reflection of the thoughts you carry, the beliefs you nurture, and the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what your life can be. If your mind is limited, your world will feel limited. If your mind is open, even to possibilities you cannot yet name, the world begins to expand in ways that can astonish you. It is easy to underestimate the power of the mind because its workings are subtle. You cannot measure belief with a ruler or weigh faith on a scale. Yet the impact of your inner landscape on your external world is absolute. The mind sets the tone for every choice you make, every action you take, every risk you dare to embrace. A mindset of fear, of scarcity, of doubt will shape your life into a reflection of limitation. But a mindset rooted in possibility, in resilience, in trust, will begin to draw toward you the opportunities, the people, and the moments that are aligned with growth and fulfillment. Do not think that this requires a sudden transformation. It is not about flipping a switch, about pretending to be someone you are not, or forcing yourself into an ideal that seems unattainable. Change begins with awareness. Begin by noticing the patterns in your thinking. Which thoughts lift you? Which thoughts weigh you down? Which beliefs have been inherited from others, accepted without question, and now keep you from stepping fully into your own life? This awareness is the first step toward mastery, because the moment you observe a limiting thought, you give yourself the power to choose another, to reshape your inner dialogue, to guide your mind toward what is constructive and possible. You must also understand that setbacks, doubts, and failures are not signs that your mindset is failing. They are part of the process of training the mind to navigate the unknown. Every time you encounter a challenge and resist the urge to succumb to negative thinking, you are strengthening the mental muscles that allow you to see beyond immediate obstacles. It is in this ongoing practice, in the consistent choice to interpret difficulties as lessons rather than punishments, that your mindset begins to serve you rather than control you. Reframe. Always. Reframe your setbacks, your mistakes, the moments that feel like failure. The universe rarely delivers lessons wrapped in comfort. Often, it disguises growth as challenge, expansion as struggle, clarity as confusion. But when you learn to see the invisible hand guiding these moments, when you consciously reframe your experiences, you begin to align your perception with possibility. You start to recognize the patterns, the synchronicities, the small nudges that indicate you are moving forward even when it does not feel like it. Your mindset also shapes your relationship with time. The impatient mind will see delays as punishment, as a signal that the world is against it. But the patient mind sees timing differently. It understands that life unfolds in cycles, and that what is arriving may not yet be fully visible. To trust in timing is not passive waiting. It is active preparation, awareness, and engagement with the present, while holding a vision of the future. The mindset that trusts the process is a mindset that allows transformation to occur without unnecessary resistance. Gratitude and focus are part of this mental framework. When your mind focuses only on what is lacking, you amplify lack in your experience. When your mind focuses on what is present, what is possible, what you are learning, the world begins to reflect abundance. Every thought of appreciation, every recognition of potential, sends a signal to your consciousness that you are ready for growth. And this readiness creates a vibration that attracts circumstances in alignment with your inner state. You must also embrace the paradox of control. Many believe that change is about controlling the external world, but real transformation begins with controlling the mind, the internal world. The way you interpret and engage with what comes your way. When your mind is disciplined, focused, and aligned with possibility, it transforms challenges into opportunities, setbacks into guidance, and fear into fuel. The external world becomes responsive to the state of your consciousness because your perception is the lens through which all experiences are filtered. This is why the practice of observing your mind is essential. Noticing your thoughts without judgment, recognizing patterns without self-condemnation, and choosing consciously where to place your attention. These are the acts that shape your life, far more than external circumstances ever could. The mind is not a passive recorder of events. It is the architect of your reality. And the sooner you accept that responsibility, the sooner you can begin to shape the circumstances around you, rather than be shaped by them. Remember also that belief precedes manifestation. The opportunities you hope to attract, the doors you want to open, the transformation you seek, they all begin with the internal conviction that they are possible. Doubt shrinks possibilities. Faith expands them. And this faith is not blind. It is cultivated by repeated acts of courage, by consistently choosing constructive thoughts, by observing the subtle evidence in your life that the shift is already underway. Finally, understand that mindset is not static. It is living, breathing, evolving. You are allowed, encouraged even, to refine it daily, to question your assumptions, to grow beyond the limitations you once accepted as truth. The stronger your mind becomes, the more resilient you are to life's unpredictable currents, and the more prepared you are to receive the change that is approaching. So today, choose to see differently. Choose to align your thoughts with what is possible, rather than what is absent. Observe your mind, train it with intention, and understand that the life that awaits you is a reflection of the inner landscape you cultivate now. The shift you are anticipating is not outside of you. It is already responding to the clarity, the courage, and the faith you bring to it. And when your mind is aligned with possibility, you will see that the world itself begins to shift around you. Opportunities rarely arrive in the form we imagine. We wait for the grand, the obvious, the unmistakable sign. Yet life is far more subtle and clever than that. Change often disguises itself as ordinary moments, chance encounters, fleeting ideas, or small coincidences. We dismiss these as trivial or irrelevant, yet they are the whispers of the universe, nudging you toward what you cannot yet see. To recognize them requires attentiveness, patience, and a willingness to perceive beyond the obvious. The universe does not always deliver in the ways we expect, but it always delivers for those who are ready to notice. Consider how often life surprises you. A casual conversation with a stranger sparks an idea that alters your path. An unexpected message opens a door you never imagined existed. A sudden challenge forces you to adapt, revealing a talent or resilience you did not know you possessed. These moments seem random, chaotic even, yet they are connected to a larger pattern that is already forming beneath your awareness. To dismiss them is to resist your own transformation. To embrace them is to step into alignment with what is coming for you. You must also recognize that the form of opportunity is irrelevant compared to its function. It is not the outward appearance, the label, or the timing that matters most. What matters is the movement it creates, the possibilities it unlocks, the doorway it opens for growth. Opportunities rarely arrive wrapped in clarity. They often require interpretation, courage, and the willingness to step into uncertainty. You cannot wait for a perfect presentation or a guarantee. Life does not operate on guarantees. It operates on readiness, perception, and the willingness to act when the call appears. Many people fail to notice opportunity because they are searching with a narrow expectation. They want life to conform to their plan, their timing, their vision. When reality diverges from that plan, they overlook the opening and dismiss it as irrelevant. But the universe is not a mirror of your expectations. It is a reflection of your alignment. Opportunities present themselves to those who are alert, open, and willing to take action, even when the path is unclear. This is why synchronicity, the meaningful alignment of events, often feels miraculous. It is the universe communicating with you, arranging circumstances to align with your readiness, but only if you are paying attention. You must learn to see with awareness, to perceive with an openness that does not insist on control. Control is an illusion, a trap that keeps you looking for the perfect manifestation of your desires. The truth is that the perfect moment rarely exists, and waiting for it often means waiting endlessly. Instead, cultivate the ability to recognize potential in what is present. Notice patterns. Listen to your intuition. Observe the subtle nudges and coincidences that signal a path forward. Life rarely shouts. It whispers, it hints, it guides you gently. Those who are attuned will hear it. Those who insist on force or clarity will miss it entirely. There is also courage in embracing the unexpected. Opportunity often arrives in forms that challenge your comfort, that push you beyond familiar boundaries. A new project, a new relationship, a change in environment may seem inconvenient or intimidating at first. Yet, these are precisely the forms that expand your capacity, your insight, your influence. Do not dismiss them because they are unfamiliar. Growth always arrives disguised as discomfort, and what you initially perceive as disruption may ultimately be the doorway to your transformation. Notice, too, that timing is rarely predictable. An opening may appear when you feel unprepared, or it may seem insignificant at first. Do not underestimate small shifts. A single choice, a brief conversation, a decision that seems minor can catalyze a cascade of events that ultimately transform your situation. Opportunities are often the culmination of many subtle moments that accumulate until the tipping point arrives. The universe moves in quiet, almost invisible ways, arranging circumstances in your favor when you are attuned enough to recognize them. This is why patience, presence, and attentiveness are essential. You cannot create opportunities by force, but you can cultivate the awareness necessary to recognize them. Be present in your interactions, in your work, in your thinking. Notice the patterns, the coincidences, the doors that seem to open briefly, then disappear if ignored. Life often tests your attention, presenting the same opportunity multiple times in different forms to see whether you are ready to act. Ignoring the first sign may simply mean that the universe will ask again, in another way, until your awareness catches up. Another important truth is that your willingness to act amplifies opportunity. Chance alone is meaningless without engagement. When a door opens, hesitation diminishes the value of the opening. Action is the response that allows potential to become reality. Even a small step taken decisively sends a signal to the universe that you are prepared to receive, that you are aligned with the momentum that is already building in your life. Opportunities are rarely passive gifts. They are invitations that require participation. Finally, understand that opportunity is often disguised as challenge, limitation, or disruption. What appears as an obstacle may be the very catalyst that reshapes your life. When you view events through the lens of readiness and possibility, you see openings where others see dead ends. When you act with courage, intuition, and clarity, you transform circumstances into the foundation of your next chapter. So today, recognize that the change approaching your life may not look like what you imagined. Do not wait for grand announcements or obvious signs. Observe the subtle moments, the coincidences, the doors opening quietly before you. Trust that the universe communicates with those who are attentive, ready, and willing to act. And when you do, you will find that the opportunities that once seemed hidden have been present all along. And when you finally do, you will realize that life has been moving in your favor far more than you ever imagined. Change does not arrive passively. The currents of transformation are already moving, but they require your participation to carry you forward. You cannot simply wait for life to hand you opportunity on a silver platter. It is not enough to dream, to hope, or to imagine what could be. Action must meet readiness. The universe will align. Doors will open. Synchronicities will appear. But unless you step through those doors, unless you engage with the moments presented, the potential remains dormant, invisible, unrealized. This is a principle that is often misunderstood. Many believe that when change is coming, it will simply happen to them. They wait, they observe, they wish. But life requires co-creation. The invitation is there, but it demands response. Even the smallest step forward matters. A word spoken, a risk taken, a decision acted upon with intention. It signals your readiness and sets the wheels of transformation into motion. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need to see the full path. You only need the courage to act on what is present, to engage with what is before you. Fear is the greatest obstacle to this process. The mind will generate countless reasons to hesitate. It will whisper that the timing is wrong, that the risk is too great, that failure is inevitable. But the truth is, hesitation often carries a higher cost than action. Opportunity waits for no one. The doors that are opening, sometimes for the briefest of moments, will not remain open indefinitely. To act is not about perfection. It is about alignment with your readiness, a willingness to engage, even when uncertainty exists. The first step, however small, sets the momentum in motion. You must also understand the power of consistency. Transformation is rarely instantaneous. It is rarely a single dramatic event. Rather, it is the accumulation of persistent, deliberate actions taken in alignment with your purpose. Each small choice, each deliberate step, reinforces the direction in which your life is moving. Momentum builds quietly, almost imperceptibly, until one day you realize you are no longer where you once were. The actions you have taken, the courage you have exercised, the decisions you have made, they compound. And when the moment comes for the breakthrough, you find yourself prepared, grounded, and capable of receiving the life you have been moving toward all along. Yet, action must be informed by awareness. Mindless movement does not create progress. It merely creates busyness. To act effectively, you must be attuned to the opportunities that present themselves, to the subtle nudges and synchronicities that indicate the path forward. You must discern which doors to step through, which risks to embrace, which moments to engage with fully. This is why observation, reflection, and intuition are inseparable from action. They guide your steps, refine your choices, and ensure that your movement aligns with the currents of change already in motion. Understand also that action does not always mean grand gestures. It is not the spectacle of effort that propels transformation. It is the alignment of intention and movement, no matter how small. A single decision to speak your truth, to reach out, to begin a project, or to shed a limiting habit. These are the sparks that ignite transformation. They are quiet, humble, and often invisible at first, but they are potent beyond measure. The universe responds not to the size of your action, but to the clarity and courage with which it is undertaken. Another aspect of action is timing. Opportunity is fleeting. Doors will open only as long as your readiness meets them. There is a rhythm to change, and it requires sensitivity to that rhythm. If you hesitate, if you doubt too long, you may miss the alignment that is designed to carry you forward. Yet if you act decisively, guided by intuition, by insight, and by courage, you step into a flow that amplifies your efforts and multiplies the impact of your choices. Action meets readiness, and the combination is unstoppable. It is also important to recognize that action transforms you internally as well. Even before external results appear, the act of engaging, of stepping forward despite fear and uncertainty, strengthens your mind, expands your confidence, and deepens your resilience. Action shapes character, cultivates courage, and reveals capacities that were previously hidden. The world is not changed solely by what happens to you. It is changed by how you respond, how you move, how you act when the currents of opportunity appear. Patience and persistence are intertwined with action. You must act, yes, but also with discernment and endurance. There will be moments when progress seems slow, when results are not immediately visible. Do not mistake this for failure. Transformation unfolds in cycles, often imperceptibly at first. Consistent, deliberate engagement, guided by awareness, ensures that you remain aligned with the momentum that is building. Each step, each act of courage compounds, creating the conditions for the breakthrough that is already approaching. Finally, you must trust in your capacity to act. The hesitation, the fear, the doubt, they are all temporary. You have within you the ability to make decisions that align with your growth, the courage to step forward when opportunity presents itself, and the wisdom to discern the right moments to engage fully. Action is not a guarantee of outcome, but it is the only way to transform potential into reality. Without it, readiness remains dormant, opportunity passes unclaimed, and the shift that is approaching cannot be realized. So today, choose to act. Choose to engage with the moments, the doors, the opportunities that appear in your life. Do not wait for certainty. Do not wait for perfection. Do not wait for permission. Step forward with intention, guided by awareness, fueled by courage, and supported by the momentum of change already in motion. Even the smallest step taken decisively carries power beyond measure. And when you do, you will discover that the shift you have been anticipating responds not to your waiting, but to your courage to move. Gratitude is far more than a polite acknowledgement of what we already have. It is a force, a lens through which the universe responds to us. The energy we carry in each moment shapes the life we are capable of receiving. If your mind is fixated on what is missing, on what has been lost, on what seems unjust or unfair, you will attract more of the same. But when you cultivate gratitude, when you truly recognize the value of what exists, even in its smallest forms, you shift the vibration of your entire being. And in that shift, the flow of life begins to move in your favor. Consider the irony of human nature. We often wait for extraordinary circumstances to express appreciation. We wait until we have achieved the impossible, until wealth, success, or recognition arrive. And then we think we will feel grateful. But the truth is, gratitude precedes abundance. It is not a byproduct of what we receive. It is the magnet that draws it toward us. By appreciating the present, by acknowledging even small blessings, we create the energetic space for greater things to enter. The act of noticing and valuing what you have is a signal to life that you are ready to receive more. Gratitude also changes perception. It shifts your attention from scarcity to possibility, from fear to trust, from limitation to openness. When you focus on what is already present, the mind stops obsessing over what is missing. You begin to notice doors opening, patterns aligning, opportunities appearing. Life itself becomes more generous because you have trained yourself to see it that way. The energy of appreciation is transformative, and it acts quietly, steadily, often before you realize the change has taken hold. You must also understand that gratitude is not passive. It is not simply a feeling we wait to experience. It is a practice, an intentional focus, a discipline of the mind and heart. To cultivate it, you must actively notice the subtle gifts that exist in your life. The unexpected kindness of a friend, the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of your breath, the moments that remind you that life is unfolding in your favor. These are not coincidences. They are the whispers of the universe guiding you toward alignment. Recognize them, honor them, and in doing so, you amplify the flow of abundance. Moreover, gratitude is not selective. It does not only apply to the pleasant, the convenient, or the easy. True gratitude embraces even the challenges, the lessons, and the discomforts. Every difficulty contains within it a seed of transformation, a piece of wisdom waiting to be discovered. When you cultivate the habit of finding value in these moments, you are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are an active participant in your evolution, recognizing that even the struggles are part of the grand design of your growth. Gratitude allows you to extract insight, opportunity, and resilience from experiences that once felt purely negative. There is also a profound connection between gratitude and anticipation. When you are grateful for the present, you prepare the mind and heart to receive what is coming. The energy you carry now determines the quality of the life that unfolds next. Expectation alone is insufficient. You must engage in a conscious, heartfelt appreciation for what is already available, and in doing so, you align yourself with the life that is approaching. The universe responds to vibrational resonance, and the resonance of gratitude is magnetic. Consider how often life tests your attention with small, subtle gifts. A quiet moment of peace, a conversation that lifts your spirit, a coincidence that sparks clarity. These are indicators of alignment. They are the universe's way of letting you know that the currents are moving in your favor. The transformation is already underway. When you cultivate gratitude for these moments, when you recognize their significance, you strengthen your alignment with the unfolding pattern of change. You begin to see that life is orchestrating itself on your behalf, and you are an active participant in its unfolding. Gratitude also deepens connection, both with the world and with yourself. When you appreciate what exists, you cultivate presence. You stop chasing what is missing and start living in the richness of what is. You notice details, you savor moments, you engage more fully with the experiences that shape you. This presence amplifies the power of your actions and decisions because you are acting from a state of clarity and alignment rather than scarcity and fear. The energy of gratitude transforms not only what you receive, but how you move through life. It is essential to remember that gratitude is cumulative. It grows stronger the more it is practiced, the more it is observed, the more it is expressed. Each acknowledgement of value, each intentional moment of appreciation, strengthens your capacity to attract, to notice, to receive. And as this energy builds, the shift that has been coming for your life accelerates. Doors open more easily, connections deepen, opportunities appear with greater frequency. The world itself becomes more generous because you have trained yourself to see its generosity. Finally, gratitude anchors you in the present while preparing you for the future. It allows you to release fear, impatience, and frustration, while remaining engaged with the unfolding momentum of your life. When you cultivate this energy, you become a magnet for the change that is approaching. You align your inner state with the external forces of transformation. And in this alignment, you find that what you once hoped for, what you once longed for, begins to arrive naturally, almost effortlessly, as a reflection of the appreciation and openness you have carried into the world. So today, embrace gratitude not as a courtesy, or a fleeting feeling, but as a practice that shapes your reality. Recognize the gifts in your life, honor the lessons in your challenges, and open your heart to the abundance that is already moving toward you. The energy you carry now, through gratitude, sets the stage for the transformation that is about to unfold. And when you do, you will see that life responds to appreciation with even greater blessings, and that the future you have been waiting for has been arriving quietly, steadily, all along.